Hi, thanks so much for taking the time again to be here and learn a little more about your students' math class. Typical day in math class. Students are coming into class, homework already turned in and corrected, Chromebook charged, math notebook out on their desks. They're writing down the purpose of the lesson for their notebook, and we are getting started on the lesson. If they have homework questions, possibly those were already answered in Google Classroom, which is great because if they put it as a class comment, the whole class can engage in that conversation. And if not, we do take some time in class each day to answer those. Their math notebook is a really important tool. Middle school, it's a great time to figure out how do you like to take notes. So I do give each student a format for notes in math class, and hopefully that can help them stay organized in other classes as well. These notes are graded, and students do need to fill in the notebook lesson purpose and the problems if they are absent. If they are absent, there are links to the filled in teacher keys on the module calendar. So this is the format I give our students for their lessons. We have the title lesson, we write down the lesson purpose, what should you be able to do by the end of this lesson, the notes, which sometimes I know that my notes might look different than someone else's notes, but of course there's some mandatory things I do have the students write down. Otherwise, they are welcome to write down what they need to. And then we have a reflection at the end. And when I say that the notebooks are graded, here's the criteria. And of course, neatness, organization, not based on handwriting, just can they go back and use their notes if they get stuck? So these are a great tool and resource for students. If you notice they're getting stuck on homework, ask them, hey, let's go back to your notebook or your Desmos lesson and see if there's a similar example. Lesson reflections. These are super fun, and I love seeing what the kids create. We have a number assigned for after each lesson, and they might be creating a problem, writing a paragraph summary, writing a math coup. Yes, it's a haiku about math, drawing a picture, or creating a real world example. Their favorite, of course, is choose your own, which a lot of them end up choosing the math coup. Module calendar, one of the number one tools for you and your students to be successful this year in math. It tells you exactly what we're doing for the lesson that day and exactly what's for homework. It includes teacher filled in answer keys for each lesson linked on the lesson and test and quiz overviews, meaning how many questions are going to be on the exam, what is on it. That's all there for you. It's linked in your student's Google Classroom and on my website. ARIES, another amazing tool for you to use to communicate with your student. Hopefully you guys are communicating, and for your student to communicate with you. For me, I have almost 200 students. That means I need to be able to communicate with you about every single assignment your student does. But with having so many students, ARIES is the best tool for me to communicate with you. That being said, entering that many grades, I could make a silly mistake. So please remember, I'm only human. So take note that if there is something missing or there's a grade that you think could be wrong, communicate with your student first. Maybe there's a comment in Google Classroom that they are given the opportunity to fix something to earn credit, or maybe they missed a deadline. And we do not accept late work at Earl Warren. So middle school deadlines are really important to meet. And so I do not accept late work on assignments. If you'd like credit for late or missing work for homework, not dots or tests or quizzes, you can attend SEAHAWK support. So SEAHAWK support is after school from 3 to 4:30, about once a Monday and once a Thursday a month, and it's an opportunity for if students do have missing work, they can stay for the entire time, no leaving early, and write a note to their teacher for the missing work and earn some partial or full credit depending on the teacher. Homework hour, a great opportunity for your student to get work done and ask questions. So homework hour is before school every day except late starts and at lunch. And it is hosted by a different teacher in their room. All the pink highlighted boxes that I gave you are all math teachers. And any math teacher can help you with any level of math here at Earl Warren. What's great is students can come in and ask for questions that are similar to a problem or help on a problem, or they could ask for some extra help, and they could be using some of these resources. So on the student support page, so linked on my website, I highly recommend an extra 20 to 40 minutes of math per week, additional to homework to stay sharp on the math skills. So maybe that's revisiting your lessons, organizing your notebook. On the Math AH page, there's videos and extra practice for each module broken up into section and topic that we're covering. So that's a great place to do some extra review. Other important information, you've already read my course syllabus, which has a lot of information, 70% assessments and 30% assignments for this course. The drop deadline, because it is really important that students are in the correct level of math so that we can build a strong math foundation and students can feel success but also challenged. If we do offer 3 levels of math oral warrants, we have the essentials, the college prep, and the honors. So if you or your student feel that maybe honors isn't the best pathway for you, the last day to drop this semester is Tuesday, September 14th, and please contact your counselor to discuss if a schedule change is possible because classes do fill up. Dots do online thinking, so they're assigned every Friday, due the following Wednesday. They're counted as an assessment, and this is topics that we've covered on classwork and homework, and they should be able to do independently. Of course, they can always reference their homework or classwork to complete the dot, but they shouldn't be needing any real extra help. All the modules that we're covering this year. So we're going to be covering 8 modules, and the fun just keeps going. And I can't believe we're about a week or 2 away from finishing module 1 already. So if you're interested in what we're covering in class, here's a great overview, also linked on the district website. Technology issues. If you're having any tech issues, please communicate with me ahead of time before deadlines if possible. I can be compassionate and work with you, but only if I know. And then the Tech Hub also has helpful tech troubleshooting, and Miss Annie, our Learning's Common Tech, is also really helpful to fix problems. And when a student is absent, they still need to do the work. If they're absent and can meet the deadlines in Google Classroom, great. If not, please have them just leave a comment when they turn in the work. I don't get notifications for late work that's turned in because I don't accept late work. So once they've turned it in after they've been absent, really helpful for them to communicate with me so I know to update ARIES. And also links on the class module calendar, helpful teacher keys for when you're absent to follow along. Correcting homework. Students need to be correcting their homework. That's the most immediate feedback they're going to get on the practice every day. So if you're completing the work in one color and then doing their corrections in another. Corrections, bare minimum, they are marking the problem that is wrong, writing the correct answer, and if possible, hopefully trying to go back and fix the problem. If they can't go back and fix it on their own, they're asking a question in Google Classroom or in class when we go over it. So what's great is we have our school Chromebooks that they can be completing homework on using the touchscreen. Another option is that they can be printing out the copies and scanning in the work. If they are scanning in the work, it needs to be uploaded as one PDF, and I need to be able to see their work. If they like a blend, they can look at the screen and write down the problems and number them on a separate piece of paper, and again, scan that in as one document and one PDF. Images show up super, super tiny on my computer, and I have to open each one into a new window and zoom it in. So the PDF is super helpful with correcting homework. If you want some more information about scanning, here is a lot of information about it using different apps and using phones. And if you need help, Miss Annie Attendance Counseling, here's a great resource page for you. And we're all getting into the swing of things, so feel free to email me about any questions that you may have.